Welcome to Civil Discourse. I am your host, Wesley, along with my co-host, Steve, and we'll be giving you today's political news from both sides of the aisle. Today, we're going to be talking about this whole entire Russia thing. Steve, I know that this is a great subject for you. They're saying they got Obama in the crosshairs right now. All of a sudden, there's no longer talking about Epstein. We're now talking about Russia hoax.
I mean, It is what it is, right? I mean, it was a hoax, and the Mueller report proved that. The 52 Intel people that signed off on the Russia thing, it was all a lie. And for anybody on the other side to say otherwise is foolish. I mean, it's right in your face that it was a bold-faced lie, and people are like, no.
Let me go ahead and read the report to give people a context of what we're now discussing. Tulsi Gabbard details bombshell claims of Obama-era cabal's treasonous conspiracy against Trump. Cabal. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard detailed striking findings from a declassified documents released Friday, claiming to showcase overwhelming evidence that an Obama-era cabal laid the groundwork for what would be the years-long Trump-Russia collusion probe after the 2016 election. The implications of this are frankly nothing short of historic, Gabbard said on this week's Sunday Morning Futures. Over 100 documents that were released on Friday really detail and provide evidence of how this treasonous conspiracy was directed by President Obama just weeks before he was due to leave office after President Trump had already gotten elected. This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is an issue that is so serious it should concern every single American because it has to do with the integrity of our democratic republic, she continued. Documents shared by Tulsi Gabbard's office claimed that before the 2016 election, there was no evidence showing Russia tried to directly alter vote counts. However, members of the intelligence community later suggested that Russian President Vladimir Putin wanted to help Trump win. Gabbard argues the narrative shift was politically motivated rather than based on new findings. Creating this piece of manufactured intelligence that claims that Russia had helped Donald Trump get elected contradicted every other assessment that had been made previously in the months leading up to the election that said exactly the opposite, that Russia had neither the intent nor the capability to try to hack the United States elections, Gabbard told host Maria Bartiromo. So basically they're coming out saying that Russia, to me, it's almost a weird kind of a finding that she has right here. So they're saying that, I didn't hear anyone say that Russia directly changed vote counts. I know that you had spoke about that earlier when we talked. I never heard that, and I never believed that. I don't believe that Russia changed any vote tallies or anything like that. But do I believe that they tried to use bots and other forms of social media to push?
I'm sure they did.
And I'm sure they did as well, too. And I think that that's the part that's bad. Not that I think Trump was elected fair and square. 2016, 2024, I think he won because of the people. People came out and voted. They spoke.
But here's the issue. Back when you and I were talking before this, there were presidential daily briefings in December of 2016 that stated that Russia was there, yes, but they weren't, like you said, they weren't doing anything with voting. I mean, they weren't changing votes. They weren't hacking into voting systems. They weren't doing any of that. Influence-wise, you're going to have that every election cycle. It's getting worse now with AI and, the bots and networks that these are enemies, which you and I both agree they're enemies.
We agree, because when we talked about this earlier, Steve,
it took me a little bit to say it, but
I said, hey, do you believe that Russia's our enemy? I want to give context to the audience here.
Go ahead.
And Steve sat there and he was like,
yes. But
he said yes. He did say yes after a while. But
I did say yes, but here's the issue why I say that. Again, we talked about this beforehand. You have to at some point, and I know you don't agree with this, you have to at some point bring those bad actors over to your side at some point, because this world, if we don't, the world won't exist. It may not exist before our lives are over, because nobody wants to make peace, and that's scary to me.
Let me say this. I think that makes sense in a lot of standpoints, but not with Russia, because it makes sense with a country like if Saudi Arabia was our enemy, which in parts they do things that are counter to us. or like Iran, or like, you know what I mean, some other country that's not almost a direct polar opposite of us. You have a country like Trump, like Russia, who has more nuclear weapons than the United States has, who is directly involved in. They have, okay, I always talk about this all the time. Population wise, Russia's at 140 million people or so. By the year 2100, they'll be at 110 million people. They just lost 1 million people, of men mostly, of military age. These are people who can have kids, who are vibrant type individuals that can actually help their society. They just lost that.
You know how they could fix that though. How we used to do mail order brides from Russia. Now they can do mail order grooms from the United States and other countries. That no one wants to go there.
They don't have but they don't have the. I love the idea, but they don't have the GDP. They don't have the money. There's nothing that you can supply for us to want to go there. You know what I mean? They live so badly in that country. Not everyone, but
yeah. To get back to the Russia thing, now we know that even prior to the Epstein thing, there was rumblings about what was going on, about how John Brennan and Clapper and other people in the intel community had signed off on the 52 people from the intel community signed off on that document saying that the Russia thing was true. Well, it wasn't. We know that.
Dossier?
We know now.
About the dossier, correct?
Yeah. Years later, we know now that that's not the case, and it was still pushed. Brennan, even though he knew for a fact that it was not true, he put it in the intelligence assessment, and that to me. That right there should have been grounds for. I mean, I wouldn't call it treason. That's not treason, but it is subverting the election process. It is subverting the national interests of this country.
So do we not consider the fact that Trump came out when he came out? Okay, he had a number of his staff had ties to Russia. A number of them. When you went going from what's the guy? I don't want to go over the names.
But it wasn't proven. It wasn't
Paul Manafort.
Proven.
Paul Manafort had ties to Russia. Paul Manafort.
But the influence peddling wasn't proven.
So now listen. So
it was all made up.
He also had a meeting, not him, but his kids and several other people from his staff. I think Jared Kushner was there as well, with Russians to try and dig up dirt on Hillary Clinton. Now let me finish. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah,
okay, that's another thing. Then you have the people who he put in his staff have ties to Russia. You have Trump, who was so bad in debt when he was in the business world that the only banks he could get loans from were Russian-tied banks. He had the fact that Trump had sold one of his condominiums or something like that to a Russian, quote unquote mobster dude for way above market value. I mean, like $30 million or something like that above market value. It was like how the place was worth like 50. He sold it for 90 or something like that to him. You know what I mean? Like there is steps that you can see that where there could be some type of collusion going on there. So to me, for the intelligence community to take that and investigate that deeply, I think that's good business. We should. And then this guy comes in.
Listen, I don't disagree with that. But when it's proven false, you don't keep going with the narrative. You stop the narrative. You stop putting it in intelligence assessment.
Of the dossier. I believe that. But when we look at him again, he's doing the same exact thing again. He's brought in, look at Tulsi, the person who brought this to the table, Tulsi Gabbard, the same person. He said, I don't care what she says. Yeah, she said, Marie said, I don't care what she says. They're like, oh, Tulsi Gabbard says that, something about I forget what you're talking about. It's like there was no,
but it's still, but the problem
Iran had no we're not trying to pick up nuclear weapons. He came on and said he doesn't care what she said. Now all of a sudden she's the hero. She's the one who saved him from this whole Epstein thing.
That's not the case. It was out before the Epstein case. It was out before all that. It just wasn't as publicized because the only people publicizing it were people on the right. Even today, you can go out to NBC News, MSNBC.
It was dropped on Friday.
I get that, but it was prior to the Epstein stuff weeks ago. There was already rumblings about Brennan weeks ago because everybody knew he lied about it.
But Trump's been saying this for years. Why didn't he do something about this his first term?
Could it be a deflection? I don't know. What do you mean? He did talk about it his first term.
Why? Okay, he had all the same people.
He talked about it. He talked about it the whole damn time during Biden's
So why didn't he have? If it were this easy for Tulsi Gabbard to get the information, why didn't his last DNI, I believe it was, get it? get the information last time when he was in. He could have easily gotten the same information then. Why is it all of a sudden now there's a bombshell that really is not a bombshell? Because you're not. If it were a bombshell, you should have arrested somebody. You should have gotten charges already. She could have done it.
You know what? You can say the same thing about the Epstein files too.
Well, no,
it was a bombshell. It was a bombshell. You could have released it.
Separate.
100%. You could have dropped it.
Not the same thing. Not the same thing at all. And you know it's not the same thing.
It is.
You know that it's not. How is it that if this? Okay, so the fact of the matter,
how many people over the? Why not this week?
Why not release the files then? She released these files. They had no problem releasing this stuff. Got it out of there real quick, huh? They were happy to do it.
Why didn't the Biden administration release them?
They couldn't. Okay, actually, no.
How many people I heard on the left say this week that got
couldn't release the files?
Why?
They couldn't release the files because at the time that Joe Biden was in office, they were still under a federal hold. All the files were under a federal hold at that time. It's something I just found out about.
But
the Washington Post reported on this.
He has the ability, and so does the Attorney General, to do that.
Not when a judge has it under. No, it's a judge had the files under a hold during the Biden administration. I looked it up on the Washington Post. They actually showed like the whole layout of this whole entire, how it played out, and they said this is why the Biden, not trying to say he would have done it anyways. So I don't believe he would have. I believe there's people in this file.
That was a big question this week from Republicans to Democrats was, well, why didn't Biden use it? And none of the Democrats could answer the question. They would just bypass it. And that to me, it shows a direct reflection of the hypocrisy that exists. You're going to sit there and say, well, why didn't he do this? Why didn't he release them prior from 2016 to 2020? Okay, I don't know. I don't know what was classified and allowed to be released at the time. But now it's been declassified, and now they can release them.
But all I'm saying is this: it just seems real strange on timing, because there's a there, as they say. Why not go and arrest Comey? There's nothing to talk about. We need to come out and say, "Oh, we have Obama." You just putting out names.
But now they referred it to the DOJ for prosecution. So yeah, they're going to wind up. They could wind up arresting those guys.
Who? Not Obama.
Brennan, Comey, Clapper, Obama. Because Obama knew about it.
You can't arrest Obama. You can't arrest him.
Why?
Why? Because of the same thing the Supreme Court just did for Trump. You made him a king, retroactive. Any presidential action. Yeah. You can't arrest him. Isn't that a horrible thing that you can't go after? You can't go after the ringleader, alleged ringleader of this.
But the thing is,
you want to go after.
What, Obama? No, he's not the one. He's not the one making up the ICAs. He's not making up the intelligence assessments.
But if he's allowing,
that was Brennan, Clapper, and Comey.
I mean, let's see what happens. I believe that Comey did Trump a bigger favor than anyone in the 2016 election when he released Hillary's emails or whatever that was. Yeah, I mean, right?
She got away with that. I mean, that he didn't want to refer that for prosecution because of the election.
Because there was no prosecution to be had. There was nothing to prosecute on.
Up. Listen,
there was nothing to prosecute.
She was under an order not to touch any of those devices or do anything to those servers, and she broke 12 devices, bit a server to get all her emails off of it.
I don't know anything about that.
I don't know anything about that.
I don't. I'm be honest. I don't. If I had one of my other buddies from the right, he could tell. I don't know about that part. I hadn't heard about that, seriously. Or else I hadn't heard.
What are you living in a cave?
Yes, right now I am.
Cave the last 8 years, man.
I mean, because I don't listen to conspiracies from the right. You guys are always conspiracy. Everything is conspiracy. Oh, Hillary did this.
That is true to fact.
I feel like Hillary is a sore loser. When she lost, she should. I came out the night that she was getting trounced during the 2016 election, during the day of the vote, and I was like, you know what, man, just go ahead and concede. It's over. You lost. I knew she lost. I voted for Hillary Clinton. You know what I mean? Not to say that,
surprise me.
Because I feel like she'd have been a better president than Trump. We wouldn't be in half the stuff that we're dealing with right now if it were not for this dude we got in office right now. He's the worst president we've ever had in our lifetime. In our lifetime, he's the worst president I've ever had. Him and George W. Bush. Those two are the worst two presidents.
James
I don't think he would. No, our lifetime. In your life,
I believe. Are we talking about our lifetime? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe not our lifetime.
Donald Trump. Trump and Bush. Trump and Bush are the two worst. And for him to try and for you guys to sit back and let him distract you.
I think Biden was the worst president, but wait,
are we serious?
quasi-president because he wasn't running. He wasn't running anything. So,
are you serious? Biden got more stuff done than most presidents. I mean, this is just me saying this from a standpoint of he got more laws passed with bipartisan votes than I think anyone since probably George W. Bush. And the only reason Bush got laws passed with bipartisan because he had 9/11. So people were pushed into passing things with him, like the Patriot Act and horrible other laws that he pushed on us. You know what I mean? So let's be real here. I mean, that guy did a lot more.
You have your opinion. I have mine. Okay.
Look who drove the national debt the most of any other president was Donald Trump. Did it in 4 years. This guy's horrible. He's horrible. I'm not going to debate the fact that you know what happened. We don't have to say what happened. It's messed up when you have to it's messed up when 9/11 happened.
When you spend $5 trillion for COVID relief, of course.
When 9/11 happened.
That wasn't near as bad as COVID. They didn't shut down the whole damn country during 9/11.
Economic crisis. I mean, there's a lot.
Compared to 9/11 compared to COVID was not even close.
The reason why you shut down the whole country is because you chose not. We aren't going to need to go this, but the reason why you shut down the country is because you chose not to dignify what was going on with a real response. That was his fault that we had to do that. It's true.
That's BS.
True.
That's factual. It's not factual.
How many times? Factual, and I know it.
Okay, so when he tried to shut down planes coming from China, he was called a xenophobe, a racist.
Oh yeah, that's going to stop it all. That's going to stop everything.
It might have helped
from China.
It might have helped.
Oh God, that
we already know where it's coming from, right?
That made it spread.
We already knew where it was coming from. The China virus. It was the China virus.
Hey, you guys are. Why do y'all? I need to know this. This is a real question.
What are you?
Why are you guys still? You're allowed to say whatever you want. You can.
Are you not allowed to say where the virus came from?
You called it the China virus, though.
Yes, because it originated in China, right?
That's
why is that
the
crazy?
China virus. So I've never heard of a virus saying something like, you know what I mean? Hey, or maybe the Spanish flu when you heard that, but I'm not even saying.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
But it's not even saying it, but it's not even saying it's from Spain. It's not even saying it's from Spain. Call something Spanish. There's Spanish speaking people all over the world. It really doesn't determine it's from Spain. They didn't even name it that.
Virus.
You know what I mean? Like,
flu came from Spain.
That doesn't say that it came from Spain. It says Spanish flu. It could be called Spain flu if it were coming from Spain.
You want me to look it up?
Spanish is a language. All I'm saying is this right here. Why are you guys so beholden to this guy? Like everything he does. I mean, you guys. I don't know, man. Like, you guys, it's the China virus. It's China. That's horrible to think that he makes mistakes every single day. Every single day he makes mistakes. He lies every day. And
every president makes mistakes every day.
Every day. Every day. Every day. No.
Every day.
No.
Nobody's infallible. Nobody's infallible.
That doesn't make you infallible. You just don't have to make a mistake every day. Every day. That's a lot of mistakes, man.
Every day. Come on now. That's exaggerating. That's exaggerating. You know what I mean? So you just like him. He exaggerates everything too. I'm going to end this on the first day. And now he's trying to bring this up as an actual thing to where you want us to distract ourselves and say, oh, let's care if Comey or Brennan get convicted. No one cares. Nobody cares about that. You know what we do care about? You should care. Because your intelligence agencies lied to you directly to your face, made up shit just to the Russia hoax. I thought you guys said the dossier was made by Hillary Clinton. Okay, it was, but the intelligence community. Hold on, the intelligence community used that for their intelligence assessments. Directly used the dossier. Was anyone convicted of? I mean, was anyone convicted based off the dossier? Not yet. No, I'm saying, was anyone convicted off of what they're saying? This happened. It ended up allegedly not being true. Not yet. Which I believe that's parts of this. I won't say the dossier because I don't know what's in that, but I believe that a large parts of this whole Russia thing has legs. I mean, look, he's giving this guy how much time to keep on taking over Ukraine? Oh, 50 more days. We're gonna make something bad happen to you guys. 50 more days. This dude, man, come on, man. When does it become a real thing? Is he afraid of Putin? Why? I mean, I think that when you start looking at all the things in 3 years that he had that war going on, absolutely
not. 1 million people.
All he did was give weapons.
1 million bodies dropped. 1 million bodies dropped.
Give weapons.
And 1 million bodies dropped.
Do nothing else. You didn't even try to negotiate a peace deal with him. Not even
there was no peace deals to negotiate. He wants the peace deal. He just told Trump what he wanted.
Biden was too lazy to do it because he knew he couldn't.
He just told Trump what he wanted. He said, I ain't stopping until I get everything. He told Trump that already. The peace deal with him was like this. Let's negotiate.
Obama let him do what he wanted.
Let's negotiate.
You had Obama let him do what he wanted to Crimea. You had and Syria, by the way, and you had Biden let him do what he wanted to Ukraine.
Syria. That's not true at all about Syria.
That is so true.
And Biden under Biden's rule.
Hold on, Obama put a red line on Russia and didn't do anything about it. Russia and Syria and didn't do anything about it. He let him cross that red line. So we didn't have.
We were not funding troops in Syria already. We just didn't want to go into Syria. We were funding troops. Okay, let me say this to you. A week after the election happened in November,
I have a red line.
Wait. A week after this last election, when Kamala Harris and Trump were running, do you know that a week after that, the new leader in Syria overthrew? That's when Assad fled.
Yeah.
You know why? You know why? Because we gave the okay to go in there and get that done. We just didn't want the fight to happen before. We just didn't want a war start to pop off before an election happened. That's the only reason why. That's from.
But what happened after? What happened to
and
Syria?
That's from Biden setting the groundwork for this to happen this way.
You had ISIS running rampant during the Obama administration.
Yeah, when Trump took over. No. You know who else? What else was going on there? We were funding militants in Syria as well. That's what led the way for where we're at right now. And what happened when Trump took over? He pulled us back. He pulled us back and kept us around the oil fields. I don't believe that at all. I mean, no, Obama was out of office.
You don't believe it. You don't believe it because
Obama was out of office. Trump failed. Trump failed the Syrians. That's who failed him.
Trump took out ISIS. Hello.
Come on, man. He did not take.
Come on, you are so out of it.
Crazy.
Trump took out ISIS.
Okay,
he did.
Right now, Al Qaeda, people who ran Al Qaeda are running Syria right now.
We're not talking about Al Qaeda. We're talking about ISIS. Completely.
ISIS was mostly in other countries besides Syria. They were there too, but they were mostly in other countries besides Syria. I mean, the fact of the matter is, Trump deferred from our duties with the militants that we had set up in Syria, helping to fund the anti-Assad group. That's what happened when he came into office. He pulled all of our troops back out, let them bomb, let Russia come in there and wipe out the resistance. That's what happened. It was during Biden's time. That was set up for this new guy.
We still had a presence.
Let's be honest.
In Syria.
Trump had nothing to do with that.
We had base camps
around the oil. We still got them there now. Around the oil fields. That's it. They were not fighting. They were not helping to fight. They were not doing anything at all. They were not funding military groups. Nothing. This was during Biden's term. Now we have a new regime in Syria. That's what happened during Biden's term.
Shot at by Iran.
You know what kind of a loss that was for Russia and Putin. To lose Assad and to lose Syria, that's a huge loss for them to take. That's a scar on their face. For Syria was backed by Russia. That's why he fled there after once we had our militant groups go in and take over. So we know. I mean, so that says a lot for Biden and what he did during his time in office. Trump has done nothing. He lied. He came out and said that on day one, I'm going to stop the war in Ukraine. He did. Did he say that?
Yeah,
is that true? Yeah. And what has he done? And what's happened since then? They've had some of the bloodiest days of the war. I think the most bloodiest days of the war has happened under his watch. No. He's done nothing. Yes.
Hell no. There are already millions.
They just talked about it. I think the bloodiest days. I'm saying recently when some of the biggest bombings
died. No. Stop. Yeah. The millions of people died prior to Trump coming in office. Period.
Bloodiest days. Because I'm talking about days. Individual days.
Do anything about it.
No, you know what happens?
Biden was an absentee president. Period.
That's crazy talk.
No, it's not. We already know it's going to come out, and you know it is. It's
crazy talk. I don't know that. But listen, what I do know is this.
You don't want to realize it or admit it, but you know it's
what I do know is that if a sovereign nation is attacked, there is going to be bloodshed, right or wrong. If a country attacks the United States, are we going to fight?
Yes.
And that's what Ukraine did, and that is why there's bloodshed. That's why there's bodies. And what we did was we gave them weapons to help defend themselves, and they've done a hell of a job to defend themselves, right or wrong. For them being I'm not gonna disagree. Hell of a job. They've killed over 1 million of our enemies. Russians are enemies right now. I wish Russia wasn't our enemy, but they have no choice but to be our enemy because they are a declining population. They have to regain the former Soviet blocks. They have to. There's no other way for them to survive.
Listen, I'm not gonna disagree because I don't know the demographics of Russia. I don't know the demographics of Ukraine. So I'm not going to fight you on that.
32, I think there's 30-something million people in Ukraine, 30, almost 40 million people in Ukraine. Imagine putting that on top of 140-something million Russians right there. Then imagine going and grab.
That's 3 New York cities or three.
It doesn't matter, man. It's
one New York state.
What you're getting in, what you're getting is I know that Russia and Ukraine account for like 50 or 60% of the world's wheat output. It's a lot of other things that you're getting. Besides, they got Crimea, they got access to, getting access to the Black Sea and moving all kinds of stuff they get from this. Now, on top of that, they get oil, they get all rare earth minerals, all that stuff, along with the 30-something million people to put back into your population. Now you go out and you say you get Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, and that's another, say, the 12 million, 15 million people right there.
Okay, so and, let's go back to the original point. Can I ask a question and be honest with me? Do you think it's okay for them to have lied on their intelligence assessments?
No, I think that's. Do
you think that's punishable by prosecution?
Yeah, I mean, if you lie about something and you sworn under oath or whatever the case may be, I think that's punishable. I mean, because I'm not sure what their how their forms are made up or whatever the case may be. But I believe if they came out and openly knowingly lied about what was going on to try and subvert an election or even try and keep a sitting president fighting something that's not true, I think something should happen about that. Period. Something should. I
agree.
I don't think you should be. I don't think anyone should be able to do that. Do I believe that they had grounds to believe that he is involved with some type of Russian type of collusion? Yeah, I think they had grounds to believe that. Do I believe the dossier?
Not after it was proven false. They didn't have grounds, and that right there. I mean, that is the ultimate. That's the ultimate right there. If you knew it was fake. And you knew it was paid for by a presidential candidate, and they knew it was fake to begin with, and to still put it out there, and still say it was real and it happened, that to me that should be punishable.
I'm gonna be honest. I almost think that this was like some of this stuff. I believe it was set up through like I think Putin's a very intelligent person. Just like I think that in some degrees. Trump has a level of intelligence in certain aspects of things as well, too. And do I believe that someone could have fooled them to believe that this was true? Like, hey, this is what them paid them to believe that. Yeah, I do. But they shouldn't have went with it. They should have did more due diligence to make sure that it was right before they took it to the world as being true.
And that's wanted it to be part true. Of why that's part of the problem. They lied to the FISA court. Multiple times they lied to the FISA court about this Steele dossier, knowing full well it was bogus, the information was bogus, and they still ran with it for 4 years, impeached a president over false accusations, false information. No, and even Pelosi, Schiff, they all knew it was false too.
I don't know if they all knew it was false or not. I can't give you that one. I'll give you the peak. She didn't bring their names up. Did she bring up Pelosi, Schiff, all that? No, she didn't. She only brought up Brennan.
No, you're right. Brought up Combs. Those are the ones. We're going deep now. Because Pelosi and Schiff, they were following the orders.
You know that she would have loved to have brought them into the fold and said that she's going to prosecute them too. But to me, I don't think that the way that she's going about it, they should have already. If there was something to prosecute, they would have already done it. Because she had to. It's not like they don't already talk to each other and work together hand in hand already with the DOJ. That's easy. They got it. They got a more than happy DOJ person that will prosecute anything and make up any story right now. The person who just said that there's no Epstein list and Epstein didn't kill himself, and a whole bunch of or whatever the case she said he killed himself. It wasn't anyone else who killed Epstein, and then a bunch of others. She's willing to say whatever it takes. You know what I mean? So I think.
Well, it's not even a Bondi thing right now. It's not even. She just got it. She just got the referral from the DNI, and so it's going to take some time for it to go through the wash a little bit. So,
let's just be real. Do you believe that? Like, do you believe that works that way? I don't.
What?
I think if they're going to
prosecute, if
they're going to prosecute someone, if they have the information, she has the evidence, like she's saying she does. Because I don't think what I just read doesn't really tell me anything. They said that there was possible this. And you're not saying anything.
Possible.
You haven't.
It's a known fact that Brennan lied. Even people from the CIA that worked under him are coming out saying that he lied about it.
But okay, what I'm saying is this right here. but they're not giving really any real assessments of what they would look to charge him with.
Yes,
like,
they,
what are you
yes,
saying?
they do.
What is it? What would it be?
Because when he wrote the intelligence assessments, when Brennan wrote the intelligence assessments based on the Steele dossier, the FISA warrants, the whole 9 yards, knowing it was a false narrative, he still went ahead and put that in official intelligence assessments and sent to the president of the United States.
Like I'm saying, man, right here, if they have something to prosecute. If you got it, do it. Don't try to make this out to be some bombshell. Oh, Obama and these people came after Trump.
They're not going to go after Obama. They're not going to go after Obama.
They can't.
Like you said, they can't. But they can go after his underlings, and I think they should.
Absolutely. If there's something to go after him for, do it.